Left over from New Year's. Wow, so far,
Yeah. Billions of them.
Oh, no.
Oh, it was unbelievable. They're all by lines and they keep by and they come by in waves. It's like the attack of the locusts.
Wow. That time of the year, rain is a rarity, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's pretty safe.
I talked to one of my friends from Arizona this year. They graduate early in May.
Okay.
And they had very unusual numbers. They had thunderstorms and lightning all across the And first year we had some pushback.
Yes, there was. I remember a little bit.
But
But
after
yeah, this is great. Yeah. Is this? Oh yeah, I see it.
This candy.
Yeah. Is this a? Do we play it? I didn't think it was community service.
$5,000-$6,000.
Okay.
So, it's not that much more.
Oh, if they did it, I would think all the man hours.
Well, that, right there with the chair.
Oh, yeah.
Everything.
So, yeah, set up, take down,
Oh, yeah.
the hours.
This is much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
You gonna sing the national anthem, Mark?
I wouldn't be too interested.
the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon. My name is Jim Elefante, and I am the very proud principal of Londonderry High School. We welcome all and congratulate the families, friends, and teachers of the graduating class of 2008. You are the 29th graduating class from Londonderry High School. This senior class has accomplished so much. You have 4 National Merit finalists, 6 Eagle Scouts, another state champion math team, a regional champion quiz bowl team, 2 National Council of Teachers of English outstanding writers, 2 Al Newhart Free Spirit Award winners, and there are only 2 in the state, a state winner of the National Invest Right Essay Contest, 7 Future Business Leaders State Award winners, 4 students accepted to Ivy League colleges. 2 students will be attending. Our other top 10 students are attending Stanford, Johns Hopkins, McGill, UCal Berkeley, RPI, Bryn Mawr, Carnegie Mellon, Bard, and Notre Dame. We have 8 All-State musicians, 22 All-State athletes, 34 New Hampshire Scholar athletes, the highest ever, 1 All-American and New Hampshire Gatorade Player of the Year boys soccer player, 1 All-American boys lacrosse player, and 1 All-New England girls soccer player. 45 students have a grade point average of 4.0 or higher, and that represents 10% of the class. Finally, and most impressively, a dropout rate of less than 1%, and 90% of our students will be attending college next year, by far the highest in Londonderry history. Yes, this class is unique and outstanding, but what distinguishes this class from the others that I have been principal of these past 4 years? Well, first of all, they have accomplished in just 12 years, completing all 3 levels of the school district, what has taken me 26 years to complete. When I reflect back on our very first class assembly during freshman orientation 4 years ago, my first day as high school principal, I challenged them to take pride in their school and make this school a school of excellence in and out of the classroom. The class of 2008 more than met that challenge. Their leadership has led us to the honor of New Hampshire 2008 High School of the Year. Your classroom, academic, and co-curricular achievements are well documented, but what I will remember most is your spirit and sense of caring for others. The 6-man section behind our basketball bench, our 2 Londonderry High School, Mr. Londonderry High School contest winners, taking tailgating to a new level, the dodgeball tournament, which was beyond belief, and finally, and most impressively, all the activities, donations, time, and fundraising you gave to causes locally and globally over the past 4 years. You seniors set the standards for all to follow. In closing, a special thank you to Mr. Sicard, our senior class advisor, for an outstanding year that our seniors will cherish forever. I know every year I say that this is my favorite class, but this year, the truth be known, for many of you, I have been your principal for 9 of your 12 years in Londonderry. For those that I have only had these past 4 years to get to know and love, it has been my pleasure and honor. Class of 2008, you are the best, and you truly are my favorite. And for one last time, thank you again for giving me the honor to be called your principal. Thank you. It is now my honor to present the Londonderry High School Top 10 honored students. They were announced and presented their medals Thursday night at Baccalaureate. I now ask them to stand when I call their name and remain standing until we reach our valedictorian. 10th honors, Courtney Jewett. 9th honors, Shannon Chisholm. 8th honors, Kimberly Lowry. 7th honors, Kimberly Haddad. 6th honors, Elizabeth DeMayo. 5th honors, Kyla Dolan. 4th honors, Christian Schenkelberg. 3rd honors, Lon Gu. 'Salutatorian, Andrew Kearns. And our valedictorian and first speaker, Alexandra McKinney.
So I'll tell you up front that one of my biggest fears has always been public speaking. So when I realized I'd be giving a speech today, I worried that it could be the longest 10 minutes of my life. Maybe you're starting to worry that this could be the longest 10 minutes of your life too. So I figured some advice might help. My parents said, "You'll do fine." Thanks, Mom and Dad, but you know I've never been okay with just doing fine. So I asked my friends for help, and they provided a reality check. Don't worry, it's just like when you do the morning announcements. Just say the usual stuff, and maybe nobody will be listening. I have to admit, in my desperation over what to say, I turned to Google, typed in Valedictorian Speech, and searched for guidance. In its vast wisdom, it filled my computer screen with enough YouTube Valedictorian Speech blunders for hours of entertainment. That satisfied my morbid curiosity about the worst that can happen when you stand up in front of your entire class, your teachers, friends, and family, and try to say something meaningful. But it didn't get me any closer to writing a speech. Next, I tried Googling how to write a valedictorian speech, thinking that this might set me on the right track. Having been warned for at least 12 years about the evils of plagiarism, I skipped the speeches you could buy and searched for other ideas. At this point, I have a not-so-funny story to tell you. I felt really good that I had actually finished my speech Sunday night and was feeling pretty relaxed by Thursday night. But when my English teacher, Mrs. Ferraro, started her speech at Baccalaureate, I felt a new sense of panic. You see, as she began to talk about being afraid of public speaking and using Google to look for topics, it began to sound a little too familiar. I don't think this is a coincidence, because after a year of writing thousands of papers for Mrs. Ferraro in boot camp, I can finally read her mind. We all searched to find the right words to express our thoughts and feelings on this special day, but I just couldn't seem to find them. So I clicked on a site promising to tell me what not to say, kind of like the what not to wear version of graduation speeches. And there it was, a list of the cliches you are not supposed to say in a graduation speech. I thought this might lead somewhere, so here I go. First, I am not supposed to say, "We are the leaders of tomorrow." I admit I'm tempted, knowing about the remarkable and diverse talents of this class. But no matter how good or true this thought may seem, it remains to be seen what we will choose to be tomorrow. It's easy to say the class of 2008 is great, but it would have made a pretty lame senior t-shirt. It's far more interesting when you roll that 8 on its side and recognize that it becomes the sign for infinity. Even without doing the math, it's clear that Londonderry High School's class of 2008 has infinite potential. Whether it's being a buddy to an elementary school student, producing an award-winning school newspaper, quietly collecting soda tops to raise money for needy families, cheering on our Special Olympians, or striving to be the best in the classroom, on the playing fields, or in the arts, the variety of ways the members of this class have contributed to their school and community is impressive. These are only hints of the possibilities of what we have to offer this world. While I won't say that we will all become leaders, what I will say is that there are many ways for us to influence tomorrow. Our impact on the future will be defined by our ability to build on our possibilities and make a difference in the lives of others. Second, I will not say this isn't the end, it's a beginning. Of course it's the end. It's the end of our high school years. And some of us are saying it's about time, and others are saying, where did the time go? As all of our English teachers have told us, by the time we get to the end, we should be able to review the book. Was it meaningful? Was it what you hoped it would be? Would you want to write a sequel or a different story? What I think is true and important about endings and beginnings is that they are about change. Our days will no longer start with, "Good morning, Londonderry High School. Please stand for a moment of silence," followed by the news, the opportunities, and the happenings of our high school world. Probably for the first time in our lives, there won't be a voice on the announcements or bells to cue us to think about our choices of where to go and what to do. But hopefully, after 4 years, we are ready for this change and have found our own voices to guide us. Third, I should not promise that we will never forget each other or these years. While this is amazingly hard to understand at this point, you may not remember your grade on the D period English final, the kid who didn't ask you to semi-formal, the score of the Big Mac Plaque football game, or the valedictorian's name. When it comes down to our memories of these days, we will all find there will be many things worth taking with us, and others we will let go. So whether you'll walk, run, or dance across this stage to receive your diploma, remember to hold on to something with spirit and pride from your high school experience. Fourth, I will not quote the words of Robert Frost or Mark Twain. We don't need to look to the quotes of famous people to find inspiration, or humor for that matter. What would our lives be without the wisdom and tireless efforts of our mentors at LHS? They are teachers, counselors, administrators, and staff who took an interest in our lives. It is their words, their passions, and their quirks that have brought life to our learning. They spoke our language and encouraged our thirst for knowledge with insights like, "Wait, the capacitor needs to recharge. Sorry, but the magical fill-in fairy is dead. Theft is good, and I keep 3-year-old chili hot dogs in my closet." More than anything we've learned in a book, we remember the impact of these creative and special people on our lives. I'm sure that for every one of these people, who I'd wish to thank today, you have another in mind. May we show them gratitude in ways we pass on to others the gifts they have given us. Lastly, I should not say always wear sunscreen. I actually had no idea why I would say this to begin with, but it was on the list of things not to say. So I did a little research and found that a Chicago Tribune columnist wrote this warning to the class of 1997. She said, "Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 1997, wear sunscreen." She explained, "If I could offer you only one tip for the future, sunscreen would be it." The long-term benefits of sunscreen have been probed by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis more reliable than my own meandering experience. She goes on to dispense all kinds of other advice for graduates. In reading her list, one thing is clear: there are few absolutes in life. So I will not tell you to always wear sunscreen. Despite your mother's dire warnings, and in the spirit of my anti-speech, I will tell you that sometimes you just shouldn't wear sunscreen. You see, there are times we put ourselves out there, unfiltered, and we should take some chances. Without taking some risks, we will never know what it feels like to soak up the sun. And if we always wear sunscreen, we might not get burned, but we'll never learn to cope when we turn red and feel miserable. Well, now you've heard the things I shouldn't say, but as any teenager knows, we don't live by the don'ts and shouldn'ts. You'll be getting a lot of advice today, now that we're officially considered smart enough to make some of our own decisions. Sometimes, a good cliché is the best way to capture our common experiences and hopes. They are sentiments well worn and familiar, even if they are a little too comfortable. They're meant to celebrate the best of this day and wishes for our future. So, against all advice, I choose to leave you, the class of 2008, with some cliched but heartfelt hopes. You've heard them before, and they need no further explanation. Consider them as you would consider the merits of any other advice you get. Inspire and be inspired by others. Don't let fears or doubts keep you from your dreams. And finally, enjoy the moment. Congratulations, Londonderry High School class of 2008. Enjoy your moment.
Family, faculty, and classmates, on behalf of the class of 2008, I welcome you here today. As class president, I have the dubious honor of addressing the graduating class. I say dubious because I'm truly at a loss as for what to say. How does one person address the magnitude of experiences that we have had as a class? As I have spent the past several weeks reflecting, I have turned to others for advice. My father said, challenge yourself, be responsible for yourself, and remember to help others. Well, that sounds good, but would it be enough? My mother said, you're the president, delegate, have someone else prepare a speech. Yeah, thanks, Mom. My brother also had a few words of wisdom. He said, find a kid with a car and be friends with them. Oh, and don't date more than one girl per class at the same time. It seemed even TV had a thing or two to say on the topic. Michael Scott from The Office said, we've been cruising for a bruising for 12 years. Well, let me introduce you to cruise director, the real world, but you can just call him Captain Bruisin'. However, at the end of the day, I was inspired by the words of Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. You are the guy who will decide where to go. Well, here I go. Each of you sitting before me has taken a course of action that has brought you here. Each of us was given a choice to stand idle as the world passes by or to work towards gaining a higher education. This was a decision we made years ago, a decision that has been tested time and time again over the past 12 years. Today is a celebration of that decision as this chapter of our lives comes to an end. We all will leave here today with our own memories of high school. Some of us will remember Mac Black weekend, tailgating, or getting painted up, and then cheering on our school with friends until our voices were gone. Others will remember their teachers, the people who inspired them, antagonized them, and even went free-falling with them at Six Flags. Others still remember being on the field during the big game or traveling with the band. These are the memories that we will hold for the rest of our lives. Each person here can close their eyes and remember a time when they were proud to be a Lancer. But no one of us alone is a Lancer. 4 years and 435 individual experiences have built our Lancer. When the math team won the state championship, he was there. When we tied Pinkerton for the Mac Black, he was disappointed, but he was there. Recently, when LHS was recognized as the best secondary school in the state, he was proud, and he was there. As the band travels to China for the Olympics this summer, our Lancer will be there. Though we all have our individual perceptions of our years here, together we leave a legacy of academic talent, unrivaled school spirit, and an absolute commitment to the excellence. For all our successes, though, there have been hardships, and during these difficult times, we have come together as a class. Christian D. Larson, a motivational writer, once said, "Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you greater than any obstacle." This class has seen its share of obstacles. Together, though, we have overcome them all. At the end of our freshman year, we lost a fellow student, Kyle Robinson, a beloved member of this class. With the love and support of his family and the help of the student council, the class of 2008 and the entire student body was able to rally behind his memory with a memorial walk for epilepsy. Through the efforts of Allie McKinney and Catherine Sohm, the walk has become a tradition. Kyle's memory lives on in our hearts, and he is greatly missed by his friends and by our class. Each person has taken a unique path that has brought them here today. Some paths have been harder to navigate than others. We have each made decisions on our paths and will continue to do so. We have learned who we are and who we are not. We have gotten lost, we have backtracked, but we have resumed the trail. It is in our actions and our decisions in which our character is defined. We are not judged by our mistakes, but instead how we react when we encounter setbacks. In our decision to step forward and accept responsibility for our actions, our true worth is seen. It is in these struggles that the depth of our character is forged. A new chapter in our lives is soon beginning. Though we have reflected on the past, we must remember to look forward. Gandhi once said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." These words have never been more true than they are now. As each of us moves on from high school, whether it be into the military, the workforce, all of the teachers who went above and beyond, the ones who stayed late for a student or went out of their way to make a difference. Though those acts may seem insignificant, they make all the difference in the life of a student. I also want to thank Mr. Elefante. I've had the privilege of being one of his students for 9 years. I have never met a man more dedicated to his job, his faculty, or his students, and I imagine I never will. Beyond the classroom, there were also the coaches who taught us. Some of them were our teachers, putting in long hours after school so we could compete. Others were people in our community. Mr. Kobelarsik and Coach Sawyer were both sports pioneers in Londonderry High School. As they retire this year, they will be remembered by their athletes, the students, and all that they gave an opportunity to play and to succeed. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our parents and family. Without their encouragement, nurturing, and their unconditional love, none of us would be graduating today. It is our families who have taught us our greatest life lessons. In the end, we see that our lives are full of decisions. The past has been full of choices, both easy and difficult, but in the end, those decisions have brought us here. The future lies ahead of us, unknown, but an opportunity to define ourselves for the world. Today, though, is not a day for decisions. Today is a day for celebration. To the class of 2008, best wishes, congratulations, and wherever your future may take you, don't forget the way home. At this time, I'd like to call up my fellow class officers.
Along with the guidance and direction of our dedicated class representatives and our class advisor, Mr. Sicard, we believe that we have found a creative way to leave our mark on the Londonderry High School community. As we have been told numerous times and has been brought up today, we are one of the most spirited classes that has ever graced the halls of Londonderry High School. We hope to encourage future Lancers to continue our tradition of cheering on our athletes at all of their home sporting events. For the first part of our class gift, we decided to have a mural of the Lancer Superfan painted over the bleachers that have come to be known as the student section at the basketball games during our time here. For the second part, we have contracted to have lettering reading Home of the Lancers installed over the entranceway of the gymnasium. This project will be completed this summer. And finally, each graduate will receive a copy of today's graduation ceremony, along with the senior video on a DVD, and will be available for pickup at the school in about a week. Thank you.
Hi. First off, I would like to say that Jake Shagden, who was supposed to play with me tonight, couldn't be here. He woke up this morning with appendicitis and had to go to the hospital. He's currently getting it out now. He was going to try and make it, but I don't know if that's going to happen. He is fine now, and everything's going to be good. This is a song by a band called by Throwback called September. Final preparations to make. It's too late now for laughing at mistakes. Another year of confidence at stake, and it feels okay like a new one, just like last September, like it should. Like it should. Time to put our suitcases away. My city seems so foreign here today. The sky becomes 1,000 shades of gray. And it feels okay like we knew it would. Just like I remember you said I could. Said I could. And I'm falling back, I'm halfway there to the reasons why I care. And I'm falling back around your way with a handful of words to say. My sheets are cold and my stereo turns on. The awkwardness forgotten all along. It could be worse, maybe just my favorite song. And it feels okay like we knew it would. Moments never get this good. Get this good. Suddenly we're back too long ago. It's crazy how the territory goes. Then it's easier in places that I know. And it feels okay like we knew it would. Just like last September, just like it should. And it feels okay like we knew it would. Hello, never get this good. Yeah. And I'm falling back, I'm halfway there to the reasons why I care. And I'm falling back around your way with a handful of words to say. Let it feels I'm halfway there, and it feels okay. And I'm falling back around your way, and it feels words to say. And it feels okay, just like it should. Just like last September, just like it should. And it feels okay. And it feels okay. Thanks, Shagnon, everybody. Right after surgery.
I'd like to invite Mr. Elefante and Ms. Podrisky, our special ed director, up for a special presentation. And Samantha, if you'd come out, please. On behalf of the high school administrative team, faculty, and staff in the class of 2008, we would like to present you, Samantha, with an honorary diploma. Congratulations. Samantha's mom. Mr. Greenberg.
Parents, grandparents, family, and friends, it's my honor and privilege to present to you the graduating class of 2008.
That's it. I'm going to pump it up for you. A little high so you couldn't see. Bend over, bend over. First row, get ready. I'm ready. Ashley Marie Adamkowski. Jacqueline Andrea Aguilar. Taylor Teresa Allard. Derek John Alpers. Michael Weston Anderson. Vicky Susanna Andre. Lauren Melissa Anker. Jesse James Armstrong. Cameron Edwin Avery. Christina Adriana Bailey. Chloe Jean Baldwin. Michael Frederick Ball. Michael Scott Barbera. Alicio S. Barez. Ashley Marie Barreto. Kathleen Lillian Barnfield. Caitlin Annie Bean. Brooke Taylor Baudette. Courtney Elizabeth Beckler. Kimberly Louise Beidelman. Eric James Beiswinger. Amanda Elizabeth Belanger. Brittany Lynn Ballou. Nicholas Charles Beltramini. Jesselyn Romano Benson. Roy Henry Berger Jr. Elise Marie Berry. Catherine Rose Beaver. Brendan Daniel Bice. Philip Charles Biondo. Brendan Andrew Byron. Corey Stephen Birdsall. Alex Stevenson Bissonette. Colby Cody Blanchette. Ronald Charles Blizzard. Nicholas James Boccia. Nicholas Frank Bonanno. Jennifer Lynn Borgeson. Andrew Bendikian Bostiels. Matthew Daniel Bouchard. Kathleen Marie Burke. Christopher John Bowen. Kayleen Suzanne Boyle. Joseph Paul Bradford. Stephen Brathwaite. Lauren Joyce Bray. Kelsey Liana Briggs. Jonathan Gerard Brouillard. Michael Brooks Brown. Morgan Amber Brown. Nicholas Michael Brown. Ross Alexander Brown. Jeffrey William Brulet. Nicholas Woodrow Bryan. Robert Walker Bryant. Sarah Elizabeth Budzinski. Susan Marie Calhoun. Stacy Ames Calnan. Justin William Campignon. Justin William Campo. Derek Michael Cannon. Andrea Marie Carbone. Gregory Michael Carbone. Joseph Michael Cardello. Ariana Nicole Carr. Taylor Elizabeth Carr. William John Carter. Adam Eliezer Carver. Michelle Lee Case. Ian Andrew Catanzaro. William John Cavello Jr. Peter Thomas Sensabella. And just in from the hospital, Jacob Charles Shagnon. Kevin Patrick Shampoo. Brianna Taylor Charbonneau. Brian Christopher Chase. Alexandra Noel Champa. Laura Catherine Ciccarello. Shannon Marie Chisholm. Rachel Elizabeth Sina. Candace Marie Clark. Bridget Elizabeth Combs. Ian Neil Kahn. Kyle James Connors. Kirsten Renee Corliss. Ashley Rose Correa. Colleen Marie Craffey. Antonio Davy Cruz. Joseph R. Cummings. Allison Marie Curran. Michael Paul Carreri. James Michael Currow. Amy Lynn Curtin. Michael Alexander King Curtis. Stacy Sarwa Donna. Cynthia Marie Dontremont. Dana Stephen DeSopo. Kyle Curtis Durso. Anthony Joseph DeGusto. Anthony Michael Dalpra. Ross Daly. Elise Catherine Davis. Jacqueline Nicole Davis. Chelsea Morgan Deck. Azaria Janelle DeFreitas. Thomas Frank DeGellin. Courtney Ann DeLorme. Elizabeth Amy DeMeo. Michael John Dirkrakorian. Daniel Charles DeRochers. Lisa Corinne Detweiler. Sarah Elizabeth DeVinny. Carolyn Laura Devlin. Nathaniel Joseph DeVoe. Katrina Lynn Diet. Kristen Mary DiMatteo. Kelly Nicola Dispensa. Stephanie Duvall. Kyla Elizabeth Dolan. Catherine Courtney Donnelly. Kevin Patrick Donovan. Sean Thomas Donovan. Travis Francis Durning. Lindsay Cheryl Elefante. Craig Joaquin Enos. Amanda Margaret Erickson. Matthew David Esalonis. Caitlin Ann Estabrook. Jessica Nicole Evans. Caitlin Elizabeth Feiner. Alexandra Magdalena Farinitis. Brent Niles Fanning. Heather Ann Fanning. Christopher James Fabonio. Edwin Arthur Fabonio. Nicholas James Finn. Neela Susan Fitzgerald. Angela Jean Flynn. Kelsey Lee Formulare. Christopher Mark Frago. Stephen Richard Frick. Jason Alexander Gagney. Kelly Ann Gallagher. Jessica Lindsay Crowley Gannon. David Allen Garside. Joseph Alec Goss. Erica Lynn Gendron. Nicholas Joseph Germano. Grace Ann Gibbons. Matthew Thomas Gilzinger. Amelia Eve Grabowski. Andrea Marie Grace. Lindsay Ann Gracia. Andrew James Grant. Caitlin Elaine Green. Jonathan James Gregg. Aaron Lee Griffin. Kelsey Kathleen Griffin. Ryan Francis Griffin. Erin Elizabeth Gruby. Lon Gu. Kimberly Catherine Haddad. Kevin Andre Handy. Christina Michelle Hanley. Derek James Hanson. Jeffrey James Harding. Elizabeth Lynn Harmon. Aaliyah Loren Hart. Rachel Ann Hart. Stephanie Jean Hart. Kyle Alexander Hartnett. Eric Andrew Hayes. Susan Mary Hayes. Nicole Myro Heffernan. Michael John Hegarty. Andrew James Herman. Erin Marie Hersey. Michaela Ann Hill. Danielle Marie Heights. Adam Charles Holden. Sydney Catherine Hollowa. William Joseph Holland. Ryan Christopher Hunt. Abigail Frances Hutchins. Haley Elizabeth Iorochi. Corey Ingersoll. Courtney Elizabeth Jewett. Kristen Michaela Johnson. Maxwell Herbert Johnson. Crystal Lee Jones. Jennifer Maria Jones. Ryan Guy Jones. Amanda Kate Kelly. Cassandra Jane Kelly. Lauren Kathleen Kelly. Travis Ryan Kelly. Corbin John Kennedy. Kevin Martin Kenny. Andrew James Kearns. Erin Kathleen Kinnan. Nicole Marie Kissel. Hillary Lauren Clutch. Michelle Lynn Condry. Cassandra Joanne Krupp. Jennifer Marie Cutt. Eleanor Joyce LaBranch. Alexandria Lee Lacer. Pamela Denise Lada. Riley Luke Lamontagne. Nicholas James Lanchester. Britton Kyle Lane. Caitlin Lee Lannon. Kelsey Gail Lanick. Daniel Christopher Lepan. Kimberly Michelle Lowry. Cody Carr LaRochelle. Glenn Singh Law. Ashley Page Levitt. Jeffrey Allen Lacros. Carissa Ann LeClaire. Elizabeth Jane Lee. Michael Patrick Lee. Myung Jin Lee. Darcy Sarah LaFave. Devin Scott Lindfest. Cody Paul Lewis. Jackie Louise Lewis. Edward Robert Levins. Alyssa Ann Linehan. Sarah Ashley Lapare. James Francis Lasofsky. Mark Edward Littlefield Jr. Nathan Richard Littlefield. Michael Lyon Lucas. Desmond Cornel Lumpkins. Sarah Elizabeth Luscombe. Miranda Lynn McDonald. Daniel Richard Mack. Carl Michael Malagatti. John Samuel Mandrioli. Joelle Marie Mangelinks. Rebecca Erin Mansfield. Desiree Rose Marchetti. Jennifer Lee Marchione. Barney Ann Margolin. James Joseph Mariano. Gina Louise Marino. Shauna Lee Marks. Jasmine Roland Martin. Melanie Robin Martin. Derek Michael McCabe. Stephen Alexander McCombs. Courtney Marie McFarland. Christopher Paul McGinnis. John Sherman McGrath. Shane Michael McInnes. Haley Hamilton McIntyre. William Francis McKeon. Alexandra Lee McKinney. Robert James McClarney. Matthew Michael McLaughlin. Sullivan Catro McLaughlin. Elizabeth Rose McNamara. Sean Francis Marr. Sarah Ann Malone. Kristen Page Metcalf. Jocelyn Mary Michaels. Thomas John Miller Jr. Aaron Gail Maloney. Brian Patrick Monahan II. Alyssa Christine Moore. Amanda Morgan. We have to stop right now. We have to stop for 1 second. Amanda, please don't leave. We just found out yesterday that Amanda has received a scholarship to the Hutchins Family Fund through the UNH Foundation to go to UNH for a lot of money. There's 4 digits in the figure. Congratulations, Amanda. Alan Julian Morin. David William Mowbray. Aaron Shannon Mullaney. John Stephen Murphy. Brandon Daniel Murray. Michael Vincent Naso. Taylor Marie Natella. Brittany Lynn Nelson. Christoph Anthony Neural. Alyssa Claire Nichols. Jasmine Marie Nickerson. Colleen Marie Nielsen. Eric Michael Niemeyer. James Toby Norris. Abigail Catherine Nussbaum. Jonathan Brandon Nutt. Bryce William O'Connor. Haley Dean Red O'Connor. Ryan Michelle O'Leary. Ethan Daniel O'Neill. Jamie Evan O'Neill. Joseph Timothy O'Neill. Corey Christopher Olivero. Justin Michael Olivero. Rebecca Elizabeth Onciaco. John Wong Song Allstriker. Andrea Cynthia Willette. Danielle Renee Paradise. Gabrielle Teresa Parent. Hannah Kathleen Patterson. Ainsley Elizabeth Pauley. Samantha Evelyn Peel. Lauren Elizabeth Perrick. Andrew Corey Pesha. Laura Natalie Peterson. Tyler Carl Peterson. Tiffany Janelle Petrozelli. Patrick Standish Pettengill. Jill Catherine Piatowski. Caitlin Ida Pitts. Nathan Michael Pullman. Donald John Post. Jared Michael Prue. Gia Marie Popolo. Melissa Beth Purington. Stephen Douglas Rocca. Jillian Hope Rafa. Andrew Wallace Raymond. Chelsea Catherine Rennie. Samantha Christine Ron. Kaylee Jill Richard. Kevin William Richardson. Melanie Ann Richmond. Michael James Richter. Mark Anthony Ristiano. Ryan John Rivard. Vanessa I. Rivera. Michael Joseph Roberts. Thistleson Thompson Robertson IV, otherwise known as Tad. Christopher John James Robinson. George Shepard Robinson II. Nicholas John Robert Robinson. Paige Candace Robinson. Mark Paul Robitaille. Brent Michael Rodriguez. Fallon Michelle Ronan. Molly Elizabeth Rooney. Brandon Anthony Rose. Sebastian Americo Rossino. Samantha Elise Roy. Ramon Antonio Ruiz. Nikki Alexa Runcie. Dennis James Ryan. Catherine Patricia Sanborn. Ashley Nicole Scaletti. Christian Dane Schinkelberg. Joseph A. Schmidt. Jessica Rose Schofield. Courtney Leighton Schwalbe. Jesse Thomas Shudo. Benjamin Jacob Scoggin. Jonathan James Scott. Krista Marie Salinka. Andrew Elwin Sellover. Pamela Ann Sergi. Samantha Grace Semeni. Patrick William Shannon. Matthew Garrett Shea. Patricia Anna Nella Shea. Emma Harriet Shuck. Taylor James Edward Simpson. Patrick Ryan Sinnott. Allison Jean Smedley. Casey Allen Smith. Margaret Rose Smith. Patrick Douglas Smith. Catherine Lee Sohm. Christopher Robert Sousa. Michael Kaveni Spiak. Justin Anthony Sproul. Samantha Marie St. Onge. Patrice Roseanne Stay. Megan Elizabeth Stearns. Michael Richard Stevens. Andrew Garrett Stewart. Gregor Nicholas Stocks. Michelle Catherine Strong. Ellen Catherine Stewart. Jamie Ellen Sullivan. Timothy Ryan Taylor. Gina Nicole Lucia Tebow. Kristen Marie Tejada. Kristen Michelle Tepper. Jessica Marie Tatro. Spiro Alexander Theodosi. Christopher David Thompson. Adam Michael Thornton. Thomas Matthew Tierney. Joshua David Tisdell. Anthony Glenn Tonelli. Monida Touch. Matthew Ben Travellini. Jason Robert Van Busikim. Colleen Rose Vecchione. Adam Tanner Vino. Christopher David Viard. Lisa Nicole Villani. Melissa Ann Vine. Nicholas Peter Vitukovich. Marla Lindsay Wagling. Alfred Fremont Waite IV. William Weston Waite. Matthew Gregory Willent. Alexander Weston Walker. Benjamin Robert Walker. Evan Andrew Walsh. Jennifer Rebecca Welter. Christine Ann White. Megan Lynn Whiter. James Richard Weidenfeld. Joel William Wilbrandt. Ashley Elizabeth Williams. Carissa Leilani Wilson. Kaylin Elizabeth Wynn. Jesse Ray Wishart. Jeffrey Daniel Wojawoda. Melissa Lynn Walkowitz. Ethan Craig Wolf. Kelsey Elizabeth Wood. Natalie Teresa Woodworth. Scott Patrick Worth. Robert J. Wunsch. Gerald Stephen Zandarski. And how well behaved were those seniors, huh?
All right, one final thing before we leave. Before we send you guys on your way, I just want to say that it has really been an honor and privilege working with you and serving as your advisor for the past 4 years. And it truly has been the best experience that I've had at being a faculty member of Londonderry High School. You guys are awesome, and I'm going to miss you. So if you please your eyes, one final thing before we leave. It's time for you now to take your tassel and switch it from your right side to your left. Please give yourself a big round of applause.